So did you see the news about Hindustan Unilever or HUL possibly acquiring Minimalist? That's quite a buzz, right?
Yeah, I did actually. It's a pretty big deal, especially given the valuation they're talking about, around 3,000 crore rupees. It seems like HUL is really trying to make moves in the direct to consumer space.
Right. I mean, that's a massive jump in valuation for Minimalist in just a few years. So how does a small company get that kind of value so quickly?
Well, it's a combination of things actually. Minimalist has shown pretty impressive revenue growth and they've maintained profitability, which is always a big plus for potential buyers like HUL.
Hmm. Makes sense. So it's not just about hype, it's actually about the numbers. How does this fit into HUL's strategy though?
Well, HUL has been looking to diversify into, high meganine segments, and the D2C beauty market is certainly one of those areas. It's like they're trying to catch up with the digital native brands that have popped up lately.
Mhm, mhm. So this is basically them trying to stay relevant. I mean, it's not like they can ignore these new players, right?
Exactly. It's like a big ship trying to navigate through a sea of speedboats. They need to adapt and acquire, these fast moving companies to compete.
That's a great analogy. So is this deal like a sure thing then, or is there still a chance it could fall through?
Well, the reports say the discussions are ongoing and it's not a done deal until both parties officially agree. But, based on how things look right now, it seems pretty likely to happen.
Okay, so it's close but not final. What's the significance of this acquisition for the overall market, do you think?
It could signal actually a consolidation trend. We might see more big FMCG companies, acquiring smaller, successful D2C brands. It's like a wave that's building.
That makes sense. It's like the big fish eating the smaller, faster fish. What does it mean for Minimalist as a brand?
For Minimalist, it's a chance to scale much more rapidly by leveraging HUL's vast network and resources. It's like they're moving from a small boat to a massive cruise ship.
So they get access to a bigger audience and all of HUL's distribution channels. That's a big win, I guess.
Yeah, it's a game changer for them. They get instant access to a whole new level of reach. It's like a fast pass to growth and expansion.
So this could be a win-win for both companies if everything goes as planned. Is there any potential downside to this deal though?
Well, for HUL, there's always the risk that they might overpay or that they won't be able to successfully integrate Minimalist. For Minimalist, there's a risk of losing its original identity.
That's a good point about keeping the brand's identity intact. It's like merging two different cultures together.
Exactly. It's, a delicate balance. They have to figure out how to merge the fast-paced, innovative spirit of a startup with the more established processes of a giant.
So it's like two worlds colliding. I wonder how Minimalist will integrate with HUL's existing portfolio, actually.
That's a key question, right? HUL has a mix of mass market and premium brands, and they'll have to figure out how Minimalist fits into that landscape. So
Right. So they've got to make sure they aren't competing with their existing brands and that each of their products is differentiated.
precisely. It's like a puzzle. They need to make all the pieces fit together and in a way that makes sense for their overall strategy.
I see. So it's not just about buying a brand, but also about strategic planning and integration of the new company into the parent company.
Yep. It's about building synergy and making sure the acquisition actually adds value, not, causes a headache down the line.
Okay, this all makes a lot more sense now. What do you think the future holds for these kinds of acquisitions?
I think we'll see more of this. Big FMCG companies will continue to look for these smaller, fast growing D2C brands. It's like a new way of growth for them.
Right. So the M&A activity is probably going to increase within this industry, especially as these digital native companies mature.
Yeah, it's like a race to adapt and grow. They need to figure out how to stay relevant in this ever changing market.
So if you're a small startup, getting acquired might actually be a good option if the price is right.
Absolutely. It's like a potential exit strategy for the founders and, a chance for the company to scale to a whole new level.
And what about for consumers? Will they notice any difference after this acquisition, do you think?
Well, hopefully they'll see more accessibility of minimalist products and maybe even some new innovations that come from this collaboration.
Okay, so it could mean more products in more places. I guess we just have to wait and see what unfolds.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. It could change the landscape of the D2C beauty market.
Well, this has been pretty insightful. I mean, I didn't know the D2C landscape was so active, especially with these acquisitions.
Yeah, it's a really dynamic space. And these acquisitions are like, major shifts. It's like watching a chess game where moves can change everything.
That's a great way to put it. So, what's next? What should we be watching for when it comes to this space?
We should probably look out for more acquisitions and also keep an eye on how these D2C brands continue to evolve. Will they keep their edge? That's the big question.